Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to tell you about memory. Memory will be our today's topic. And here you go, the agenda. So what is memory? Then, even more important, how does the brain store and process memory? How long is information stored? False and distorted memories? And at the last, how to improve your memory. So what is memory then? Memory is the ability to store and recall information when we need it. And how does the brain store and process memory? So there are three basic steps in the information processing model of memory. As we can see here, we have encoding, retention, and retrieval. So the very first step is encoding, and this step changes information so that the mind can store it. The next step is retention. So in this step, our brain, our mind actually store information. And finally, the last step is retrieval. So it's the moment when our mind recall the memory. So what kinds of memory do we have? What kind of systems of memory do we have? So we have long-term memory, short-term memory, and sensory memory. Sensory memory, so it's connected with our senses, our sight, our touch, our smell. Yeah, everything connected with our senses. How long is information stored? Duration. So long-term memory stores information indefinitely, sometimes for the rest of the person's life. By the way, short-term memory, which is called also working memory, only stores information for about 30 seconds, or usually up to 30 seconds. And finally, sensory memory only lasts for a few seconds at a time. Okay, let's go back to our sensory memory. So sensory memory is very important in our lives. Of course, sensory memory is connected with our senses. So with our sight, with our touch, with all senses. And why they are so important, these senses. Of course, we know why. But on the other hand, we can recall because of them, our memory about our loved ones, for example, or about people who we lost. We can smell something, like smell of the perfume, can recall this kind of information, these old memories. False and distorted memories. So did you know that our memories could be distorted? And why is that? So memories have to be reconstructed in order to be used. And the piecing together all these details, all this information, leaves plenty of room for this distortion. Our memories could be even false, partly or even completely false. But let's think. Or sometimes, let's think about a victim, or maybe about witness. Imagine that you are a witness in a case, for example, and then you have to recall something which happened like a month ago. Yeah, so what do you think? Would you remember this good or no? So you could have, I think you can have problem with that to recall, but we tend to recall more information. We tend to remember more if we have personal attitude for some situations. For example, let's think about a wedding. Yeah? It comes to your wedding, you have this all of emotions inside, so that's why you tend to remember these all things, or like particular things better than normally. So how to improve your memory? We have remembering methods, like splitting information into small groups, which is called chunking. Rote rehearsal, so you have to repeat all the time. things. Watching something for a long time. So watching something for a long time is very similar to rote rehearsal, but you have to focus on what you see. So it's connected with iconic memory, which is one of our senses, connected with one of our senses, which is your sight. Then we have as well echoic memory. So check it out. What's the difference between them two? So echoic memory is the brief retention of information that a person had. It repeats this information in a phonetic loop. Iconic memory, on the other hand, is the brief retention of what a person saw. It stores information on a visual spatial sketchpad, which is this visual spatial sketchpad is really important because we know where we put our cup, for example. Yeah, we have to know. So this is very important part of our information processing. And thank you for your attention.